Welcome back to First Chapter Friday. I hope that you have been listening. Today's story is a continuation of the best-selling book, Wonder. It's called The Julian Chapter, a wonder story, and it focuses on Julian, who is a secondary character in the book Wonder. He is August's bully, so you have the story told from the point of view of a bully. Interesting concept, right? This story can be found on a new reading app called Sora, which I'm going to help you set up next week, November 16th through the 20th during library class. Don't want to miss that. Please enjoy the first two chapters of the Julian chapter. The Julian Chapter by R.J. Palacio. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Ordinary. Okay, all right. I know. I haven't been nice to August Pullman. Big deal. It's not the end of the world, people. Let's stop with the drama, okay? There's a whole big world out there, and not everyone is nice to everyone else. That's just the way it is. So can you please get over it? I think it's time to move on and get on with your life, don't you? Jeez, I don't get it. I really don't. One minute, I'm like the most popular kid in the fifth grade. And the next minute, I'm like, I don't know, whatever. This bites. This whole year bites. I wish Augie Pullman had never come to Beecher Prep in the first place. I wish he had kept his creepy little face hidden away like the Phantom of the Opera or something. Put a mask on, Augie. Get your face out of my face, please. Everything would be a lot easier if you would just disappear. At least for me. I'm not saying it's a picnic for him either, by the way. I know it can't be easy for him to look in the mirror every day or walk down the street. But that's not my problem. My problem is that everyone's different since he's been coming to my school. The kids are different, I'm different, and it sucks big time. I wish everything was the way it used to be in the fourth grade. We had so much fun back then. We would play tackle tag in the yard, and not to brag, but everyone always wanted a piece of me, you know? I'm just saying, everyone always wanted to be my partner when we do social studies projects, and everyone always laughed when I said something funny. At lunchtime, I'd always sit with my peeps, and we were totally it. Henry, Miles, Amos, Jack. We were it. It was so cool. We had all these secret jokes, little hand signals for stuff. I don't know why they had to change. I don't know why everyone got so stupid about stuff. Actually, I do know why. It was because of Augie Pullman. The moment he showed up, that's when things stopped being the way they used to be. Everything was totally ordinary, and now things are messed up, and it's because of him. And Mr. Tushman, in fact, it's kind of totally Mr. Tushman's fault. The call. I remember Mom made a big deal about the call we got from Mr. Tushman. At dinner that night, she went on and on about what a big honor it was. The middle school director had called us at home to ask if I can be a welcome buddy to some new kid in school. Wow, big news. Mom acted like I won an Oscar or something. She said it showed her that the school really did recognize who the special kids were, which she thought was awesome. Mom had never met Mr. Tushman before because he was the middle school director and I was still in the lower school, but she couldn't stop raving about how nice he'd been on the phone. Mom has always been kind of a bigwig at school. She's on this board of trustees thing, which I don't even know what it is, but apparently it's a big deal. She's always volunteering for stuff too. Like she always been the class mom for every grade I've been in at Beecher. Always. She does a lot for the school. So the day I was supposed to be a welcome buddy, she dropped me off in front of the middle school. She wanted to take me inside, but I was like, Mom, it's middle school. She took the hint and drove off before I went inside. Charlotte, Cody, and Jack Will were already in the front lobby. And we said hello to each other. Jack and I did our peeps handshake and we said hello to the security guard. Then we went up to Mr. Tushman's office. It was so weird being in the school when there was no one there. Dude, we can totally skateboard in here and nobody will know, I said to Jack, running and gliding on the smooth floor of the hallway after the security guard couldn't see us anymore. Ha, yeah, said Jack, but I noticed that the closer we got to Mr. Tushman's office, the quieter Jack got. In fact, he kind of looked like he was going to blow chunks. As we got near the top of the stairs, he stopped. I don't want to do this, he said. I stopped next to him. Charlotte had already gotten to the top landing. Come on, she said. You're not the boss, I answered. She shook her head and rolled her eyes at me. I laughed and nudged Jack with my elbow. We loved egging Charlotte Cody on. She was always such a goody two-shoes. This is so messed up, said Jack, rubbing his hands over his face. What is? I asked. Do you know who this new kid is? He asked. I shook my head. You know who he is, right? Jack said to Charlotte, looking up at her. Charlotte walked down the stairs towards us. I think so, she said. She made a face like she had just tasted something bad. Jack shook his head and then smacked it 3 times with his palm. I'm such an idiot for saying yes to this, he said, his teeth clenched. Wait, who is it? I said. I pushed Jack's shoulder so he looked at me. It's that kid called August, he said to me. You know, the kid with the face. I had no idea who he was talking about. Are you kidding me? Said Jack. You've never seen that kid before? He lives in this neighborhood. He hangs out in the playground sometimes. You have to have seen him. Everyone has. He doesn't live in this neighborhood, answered Charlotte. Yes, he does, Jack answered impatiently. No, Julian doesn't live in this neighborhood, she answered, just as impatiently. What does that have to do with anything? I said. Whatever, Jack interrupted. It doesn't matter. Trust me, dude. You've never seen anything like this before. Please don't be mean, Jack, Charlotte said. It's not nice. I'm not being mean, said Jack. I'm just being truthful. What exactly does he look like? I asked. Jack didn't answer. He just stood there, shaking his head. I looked at Charlotte, who frowned. You'll see, she said. Let's just go already, okay? She turned around and went up the stairs and disappeared down the hall to Mr. Tushman's office. Let's just go already, okay? I said to Jack, imitating Charlotte perfectly. I thought this would totally make him laugh, but it didn't. Jack, dude, come on, I said. I pretended to give him a hard slap in the face. This actually did make him laugh a bit, and he threw a slow-motion punch back at me. This led to a quick game of spleen, which is where we try to jab each other in the ribcage. Guys, let's go, Charlotte commanded from the top of the stairs. She had come back to get us. Guys, let's go, I whispered to Jack, and this time he did kind of laugh. But as soon as we rounded the corner of the hallway and got to Mr. Tushman's office, we all got pretty serious. When we went inside, Mrs. Garcia told us to wait in Nurse Molly's office, which was a small room to the side of Mr. Tushman's office. We didn't say anything to each other while we waited. I resisted the temptation to make a balloon out of the latex gloves that were in a box by the exam room, though I knew it would have made everyone laugh. I'm going to go ahead and bookmark that page so I don't forget where I left off. I hope, boys and girls, you liked the first couple of chapters of this book and that you might want to read it on your own. This book is found on the app Sora. This is an app that I'm going to go over with you next week during my library class, so you don't want to miss it. This is super, super exciting.